Hey, so what's up, good people? This is Eugene, the African kid. So, I have a story that I want to share with you guys. So, I had a friend who has been to the United States for 1.5 years, and she was back last week, and I had to talk to her. And now, what happened is that she gave me a given story, which I want to confirm with you guys if it's true. So primarily, she's an African. She came from Kenya. That's where she is right now. But there's something that happened that she told me, and I've also been hearing this a couple out of things. And she told me that there are a number of jobs in the United States that anyone can try to do. For example, if you feel like you don't have a job in the United States, but she told me that Black Americans or African Americans are so hesitant in taking the jobs, and if they're taking the jobs, they feel like they have a lot of options, and they just misbehave. If I could use that term, they could just misbehave on the job, and they don't get the job done as compared to Africans who are in the United States. So I felt like I don't want to have one side of the story. So I want to hear a couple of stories or other people who have also experienced this. So this is an African diaspora channel for us to build ourselves as African people or people from the African descent, whether you're inside Africa or not. So I felt like I'm concerned by this story that she gave me. And there are a couple of also some things that she told me about African Americans. She also told me that they are social, and yeah. On the other part, I also have this video that also backs up, or I don't know, supplements what she was trying to say. So I want us to watch this video and then come back.
If you're African in the United States and you found yourself saying that you came here and you have the opportunities, that you don't understand why the people who have been here for a long time have not been able to accomplish anything, listen, don't be ignorant. Don't be like that.
It will be very disrespectful if any African says that they're having opportunities more than the Black Americans that have been here, because Africans today can relax in America because of the hard work done by Black Americans to fight racism. Yes, we understand that we might be having our differences, but we have to give value where value is due. Black Americans have done a lot to fight racism. Even today, people like us, we can just move around, we speak in the society, we make comments, we feel free because of the efforts of the Black Americans. We love Black Americans so much, and we congratulate them for what they've done. And our goal is that we should bring out those differences that we might be having, and then we'll be one people. We can act like one people. The Black communities will surely conquer. So if you're an African and you're talking ill and you're making such statements, you better refrain from such statements, because it's not taking you anywhere. You are just trying to devalue people who should be valued for what they have done. Thank you, guys.
So welcome back, my good people, and you've watched the video, and we have a couple of African, like the people who talked, they're African brothers, and they have been to the United States, and that's true. That's why they have the experience, because the guy says that he can drive freely where in the United States. It's because of the foundation that African Americans or the Black Americans have left for them. So my question is, is it true that the speculations that I'm hearing are truth about African Americans or the Black Americans in the United States? Kindly let me know in the comment section what you think about this topic, because it is important to address these issues. As I said, it's not always good to have one side of the story, and we can't also deny the fact that it is the Black Americans or African Americans who laid the foundation for the people of the Black descent. So today we have a couple of Africans who are going to the United States to search for a job, and yeah, people are looking for job opportunities everywhere, because we have to look for jobs. And yeah, some people sometimes want to find it outside Africa. They want to go outside Africa and try to do some work and maybe have something out of it. But there are also a couple of cases where I've been hearing some African Americans complaining that Africans are coming and taking their women. Africans are coming and taking their jobs, specifically for the job. Let's leave alone the women part, but specifically for the job. So this shows that it's true what some African brothers and sisters are saying, that like we are more of hustlers than them, because when we come to the United States, we grind so hard as compared to the blacks who are in the United States. I don't know if this is true. So, guys, I don't want to be biased. I don't want to lie on the other side. And what I know is this. I'll use this allegory. So, for example, we have two students or two pupils. So, one student lives closer to the school. The other student lives far from the school. You understand? So the thing is this. The student who lives far from the school, it's easier for them to reach early in school as compared to the student who stays closer to the school. This is because the student who is closer to the school will be thinking that, the school is just nearby, it's just past this fence and then I'm in school. Whereas a student who stays far away from school will tend to, organize themselves, want to, go early because maybe traffic jams, maybe the long distance, so they prepare so early. As a result, they find themselves reaching so early, as I've just said. And it might be applicable in this scenario. You see, most of African Americans or the Black Americans have established themselves in the United States, and they know how to survive because they've been there all of their lifetime. But you see, for African, she comes from home and he or she sees that, this is my only opportunity to change my family. I have to go there, I have to grind. So they leave Africa with the mentality that I want to change my home, and they leave, they leave Africa with the mentality that, bro, I'm gonna make it whether what. So they seize every opportunity that comes closer to them. Now, what's the meaning of this? The meaning of this is most of African Americans in the United States, and this is research that I've done, they have achieved a lot in the United States. Some people have their businesses, some people, for the teenagers, they have their moms, some still, a lot of things are being, taken care of for them. So for a teenager, for example, a teenager who comes from Africa to the United States will have that mentality like, yo, I need to grind so hard so that I can provide for my family back in Africa. And also African parents, they do talk to you just before leaving. Just before leaving the house, they do talk to you, and they do say that, my son or my daughter, now you're living here. Don't forget what sent you to the United States. You went there to make money. So don't mess up your life. So you see, when they leave their houses in Africa, some people are living in, because that's their only dream. And this is something which is true. Most of Africans do leave Africa with the mind of changing where they come from. And that's true. I won't lie to you. That's true. Because it's same to a person who goes to the university for the first time. Their parents always tell them, my son or my daughter, you're going with an aim of studying, and at the end of the 4 years, I want you to achieve something out of it. Now, if you understand that, this thing will be in the minds of Africans, and when they leave, that's where you see, I saw a given podcast, and this African American guy was saying that, Africans are real hustlers because they don't joke with work. So it's true. On the flip side, Africans could have just, tried to focus on the important aspect of them. I think number one is trying to appreciate African Americans, or the Black Americans in the United States, because they have laid the foundation to them so that they can, stay there easily. Because being black, it's something which they are trying to see it as normal. So when you're an African in the United States, it's easy for them to assume that you are Black American or African American. So I think the credits or the value should be given to the African Americans on regards to this. Again, another subject is that, I think I've also talked about it. I'll just reinforce what I've just said. It's about who wants this most, you see. Yeah, so because when Africans leave their homestead, they want it the most. I think that's why they do say the American dream. Yeah, the American dream, because people leave Africa, there are no opportunities for them, so they feel like, I need to get a plane, I need to, board something and just get to the United States, and with a couple of connections right there, they can find some people that they can interact with, and starting from there, they find people, show them places, and show them where to work. And also, I had this conversation. There was this African lady who was telling me, okay, she's my friend. I just don't want to say her name. She's my friend, but she recently came from the United States. She's in Africa, Kenya right now. So as we talked, she could tell me that she was taking 3 jobs in a day. First one she was taking in the morning, from 6 a.m. to 11, around 4 hours of work. She could get around $300 from that. She could also take a job from that and also go to another job. I won't say the jobs that she was trying to do. She could take another job from noon to 2. That's 2 hours job. She could get around $70 or $80 out of it. She could take another evening job, which works at night, and she could also get around $100. So at the end of the day, she asked something, and she told me that for African Americans, not all of them, but some of them do maybe just take a single job because they have their houses, maybe the permanent houses that they don't pay, maybe for the taxes or something like that. But I don't despite the fact that taxes is in the United States, and that's one thing she also told me, and I do understand. Sure, I try to understand the two perspectives, and it makes sense. This lady seems that she wanted it the most, and she has the dream of changing where she comes from. That's why it's always advisable to, take heed of what our parents tells us. So after taking the heed of what the parent told her, she decided to, she decided to change, and she worked off every time she had, and she's making it, and she's from the United States. She want to make her mom her house because she has an advantage. After 6 months, she'll also return back to the United States. So, guys, it's something we need to talk about. It's not spreading hate, and I just try to amplify her perspective as African, and also try to show how these can be true. Yeah, how this can be true. But again, we need to give credit to the African Americans or the Black Americans, because I believe it won't be fair if majority of the credits we take them, because we believe that we are hard workers as Africans. We might be hard workers, yes, because we want it the most, you understand? We have the zeal and the zest to change our background, where we come from, and that's the dream where we can't forget. And but at the same time, let's don't put the fact that African Americans are the people who has made us to reach where we are. And you can be seen as a black person in the United States, and there is no problem. You understand that? It makes sense, and I do really understand. And to my African Americans brother, guys, tell me what you think in the comment section about this topic. Also, to my Africans who are still working in the United States, or if you're an African who is in the United States or United Kingdom or anywhere, tell me your experience, because I had this experience from a friend she's just from the United States a week ago. If I could hear your part of the story, I think it could have been better if I hear your part of the story. So guys, this is Eugene, the African Kid, and see you in my next episode. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.